So this is a video response in response to Jesus or Muhammad, the show that was made by Christians to lie and propagate false propaganda against Islam and tell lies about Islam to divert people away from it, because they see how many people are entering Islam all over the world, and they know that it's the fastest growing religion, and they can't fight it with logic, so they have to fight it with lies and lie about it and twist things to how and what fits them. And they know that a lot of Christians are leaving Christianity and coming to Islam because they can see that Trinity does not make sense when you worship one God. So they can't make sense out of that, and they come to Islam in big numbers, and mostly Christians that are in higher levels, like priests and preachers that were once preaching that religion. Now, one of the first things I'd like to defend here is our beloved Prophet, peace be upon him, and I'm doing this for non-Muslims to see and know that they lie about this, and for Muslims to know how to defend if they haven't read. And one of the things, they say that Muhammad, peace be upon him, was possessed, and of course that's what all the non-believers did with all the prophets up to Adam. Every prophet that was sent, they would say that he was possessed. Moses, peace be upon him, was told by Pharaoh in chapter 26, verse 24 to 29 of the Quran, that Moses was possessed, and he said, Pharaoh said, your messenger that was sent to you is possessed. And also the pagans of Mecca, they used to say to the people that your prophet or Prophet Muhammad is possessed, and Allah defends them in verse 81, chapter 81, verse 22. O people, your companion is not possessed, and your companion is not gone mad, or has not gone mad. Now, in one of the videos of Jesus or Muhammad, they say, to prove that Muhammad was possessed, that we are going to quote Al-Bukhari, which is basically the most authentic book after the Quran, and it's the sayings and actions of the Prophet, peace be upon him, recorded. Now, when they say we are going to quote from that book, people right away think, wow, they're quoting a book, so it must be right. And they're saying the name of the book, so it must be right. But of course it's not. They lie about it and they twist things up. Four things they say, they bring up against Muhammad. They say that he was told by Jibril to read 3 times. And of course they don't say Jibril, they say the devil, or else Jibril would have known that Muhammad was illiterate. Another thing, they say that he violated him and tortured him. They say that that being that came or appeared to Muhammad, peace be upon him, tortured him, which is another lie. They say that he didn't comfort him or tell him that I am Jibril, I am the angel, which is also a lie. And fourth, they say that he tried to commit suicide, and that is a very big lie. Muhammad, peace be upon him, never tried to commit suicide. So the story in short, from the Sirah of the Prophet, peace be upon him, and he tells this, Muhammad, peace be upon him, tells this story about himself. He says, as I was sitting in Ghar Hira, which is about a cave about a kilometer away from the house of God in Mecca, and he was sitting there alone. Suddenly something appeared onto him and told him, read, read, read 3 times. And here is a catch. They don't mention on Jesus or Muhammad on that show, they don't mention that it was a very first verse that came down on Muhammad, peace be upon him. It says, read in the name of your Lord. So that was the very first verse that came down, and they take out that rest of it, in the name of your Lord. They take that out so that proves that it is a verse from Allah, and it's read in the name of your Lord. And of course Jibril knew that he was illiterate. Another thing, the Prophet left Ghar Hira and went straight to Khadija, and on the way he looked in the sky and he saw Jibril in his true form, as it states in Imam Ahmad's hadith, from the hadith of Abdullah ibn Abbas, where it talks more extensively about when the Prophet, peace be upon him, saw Jibril. in his true form twice, and in the Quran also it mentions chapter 53, 13 to 14, for indeed he saw him at the second descent near the law tree beyond which none may pass. As the Prophet, peace be upon him, describes, he saw him twice in his lifetime, and he said that Jibreel said, "O Muhammad, I am Jibreel and you are the messenger of God. I am Jibreel and you are the messenger of God. I am Jibreel and you are the messenger of God." And then Muhammad, peace be upon him, went straight home. He told his wife, he was very scared, and even in the Quran it says that he said, "Cover me, cover me." So he was scared, but he wasn't violated or tortured like the Christians like to say. And another thing, Jibreel did tell him, I am Jibreel and I am the angel of God. And one last thing they lie about, they say that he tried to commit suicide, and that is completely false and wrong. So this is covering that part. And one of the other things they like to lie about also, and they say, here, we can prove to you that these are satanic verses brought down on Muhammad, and here's how we're going to prove them. Now, I talked about this in the past, and I'm going to basically just bring the video and show you what they say and how I replied.
"And we did not send before you any apostle or prophet, but when he desired, Satan made a suggestion respecting his desire. But Allah annuls that which Satan casts."
Now, think about what he just said. He says, Muhammad, don't worry about it. Don't worry about the fact that you just fell for Satan's deception and delivered a false revelation to your followers and to the pagans.
Because that happens to all prophets.
Here's a translation of verse 52. "Never did we send a messenger or prophet before you, but when he did recite the revelation or narration or spoke, Satan threw some falsehood in his recitation of the revelation. But Allah, yansakhullahu ayatih, it means that Allah deletes that which Satan throws in. Then Allah establishes his revelation. Allah is all-knowing, all-wise." Basically, Allah is telling you that he's protecting his revelation. And he's telling you that the Satan, where else would Satan be on earth if there's revelation or guidance coming to people? He's going to be right there. So Allah is telling you that he protects his revelation when something like that happens. And then verse after that, that Allah may make what's thrown in by Satan as a trial for those in whose hearts is a disease and whose hearts are hardened, basically like you. So two things. Allah is telling you that this is a trial for people like you, and he's telling you that the revelation has been protected.